This is Reddit for On the Radar Blog, coming to another show of movie reviews and observations, number 52. So during the Passover time, there's plenty of time to watch holidays when there's nothing else you can do. So I watched this really clever, cute movie called Spontaneous, and it's a very interesting idea where these two high school teenagers realize they don't have a lot of time because all the students in this remote, little town all are exploding, and they have no idea why, and they don't know who's going to be next, if they're going to survive it all, and it's through the trials and tribulations of the government trying to figure out how to fix it, cops, everything in general, and how a parent's going to deal with their kids, knowing, well, if their fellow students blow up, what does it matter what they do? And this one kid who was played by Charlie Plummer has got this very Rob Lowe personality, where it's like, he's likable, you really want to root for him. He tells this girl, how he likes her, and with what's happening, you're like, okay. They start to build a relationship. It's very cute. It's adorable. The fact that, Rob Hebel, who was funny from all these comedies, and then one of the Pussycats from Josie and the Pussycats is in there. And for a 90-something minute movie, it was very cute, clever, romantic-y. I just liked it. I was like, overall, you know what? It's a good movie. It's an interesting story on, people growing up. And, coming of age story and a romantic comedy all in once, even with the scientific element and, the gruesome thing where people die and stuff. But, it's not like people are being shot or zombies are coming. People are spontaneous combustioning. So, it's a very interesting movie. I'd really suggest it. I really liked it. And it's funny. I didn't do this on purpose. But I also watched a movie called Words on Bathroom Wall. Again, with Charlie Plummer. A coming of age story where this teenager wants to become a chef. Everything's going well. Until finds out he's diagnosed with mental illness, like schizophrenia or whatever, and he's not sure if he can live his own life. He tries to keep it private. It's been just him and his mother. Walter Goggins plays the stepfather in the movie. Andy Garcia plays the priest in the movie. And it's him struggling with trying to keep that away from people, but then trying to move on in life, and then romance with a girl if she's interested or not. It's a very cute, clever type of story. It's not a comedy, it's a drama, but it's a very good movie, and Charlie Plummer, again, does a very good job at making you want to believe in his character and like what he's doing, and I liked it. The Walter Goggins role was good. Andy Garcia was actually really good in this movie, and again, even though it's close to an hour and 50 minutes, it feels like it does fly by because it's just a really enjoyable movie, and it's showing another way, just because somebody has a mental illness doesn't mean they can't live in the world, they can't have romance. So yeah, it's a pretty good movie too. So Charlie Plummer, again, he's up and coming, man. 2 good movies in 1 week. I didn't do that on purpose. Then I watched a very long, slowly moving movie that felt like it was 2 hours, but it was only an hour and 45 minutes, called Bull, about an aging bull rider whose neighbor is a grandmother whose daughter's in prison, so she's raising her grandkids, and this girl is getting into trouble, and she turns to following him around doing bull riding and trying to keep her out of trouble, and it's okay. And the guy in the movie playing the bull rider guy, he is, Rob Morgan, he's been in plenty of movies, and he's a good actor, but he couldn't even say how bad this script was and how boring this was and dull. Then I watched Batman Soul the Dragon, and I was like, cool, a 1970s Batman movie where he's just starting off as Batman, Richard Dragon, Bronze Tiger, Lady Shiva, and, they gotta deal with the, Cobra, the bad guys and all the snake, culty thing, and the bad guy and the supernatural elements of it, and all the kung fu martial arts training where you show how Batman went somewhere far overseas and learned how to do all the martial arts and training for all that stuff, and they show a sensei by, it was really good, and, it's cool. Bronze Tiger was voiced by Michael Jai White, who was actually Bronze Tiger in the Arrowverse. And in the movie Soul the Dragon, the guy voicing Batman, I'm a huge fan of his. He plays Eddie on A Million Little Things. David Giannottoli, he's really good. And the guy playing the Sensei, James Hong, has been in movies for a long time. So it's a pretty darn good movie where Batman's fighting with his guys who learn martial arts with from his past, and he's in the present trying to stop something from the past with characters like Richard Dragon, Lady Shiva, and Bronze Tiger. So it was pretty cool. Music in the background, the cars, the clothes, the outfits, it was really good. And that's what happens when Bruce Timm actually decides to get involved into a project It actually isn't super gory, disgusting, or very crude humor. It's actually a very well put together animated movie. And that's why Bruce Timm should just continue to make more things based on any comic books he likes, or, more Batman and animated series movies, more Justice League continuity movies. Just do that. Because this one is one of the best movies I've seen in a while. Then, due to, time constraints and what's going on, I watched the John Lewis documentary called Good Trouble. And they kind of more focused on what he's doing now with his voting and what he does in his life currently. They didn't really focus on what he did in the past. How to get where he is. But yeah, it was overall interesting to learn about this stuff. And it's not that long, but unless you're a huge fan of John Lewis's work, like everything he's done, because there's always good things and bad things about politicians, it was okay. Then the last movie that I watched was Annabellum with Janelle Monáe. And I'm going to say to her, the movie I saw you in, Harriet Tubman, she wasn't a main character, so barely in the movie. Then the Hidden Figures movie was good because of Taraji P. Henson and Jim Parsons. With her, this movie is weird because it's boring, it's dull, it takes a while, and they say it's a psychological thriller, it's a suspenseful movie, mystery, horror, whatever. The point is, it took 45 minutes to figure out what the hell the plot was. Come on. For 40 minutes, it shows her as someone in the, slavery times, being a slave and not being treated right. And you're like, okay, so this is a movie about slavery and somebody and a slave trying to break free. But then when you read the back of the description about her being an author and her family and all that stuff, you're like, aren't you going to introduce that element at some point in the first 45 minutes of the movie? Nah. Then it just changes into completely present day with her life and her children. And that then turns into where she is currently. And I just, that's where I'm just like, okay, fine. That is pretty cool. That they figured out that element to go back and forth. And the woman from Precious and Empire, she's in the movie. And the twin sister from Roswell, New Mexico, she's in the movie. I'm like, okay, cool. But then it turns out there are these really racist white people who kidnap black people and brought them to somewhere in the middle of nowhere, and I guess in the United States, I don't know, remote area. And it was a Civil War reenactment, and they took it really too far. Not just the battles, but treating the slaves horribly, raping them, attacking them, all this stuff. And they're trying to escape and stuff, and that was like, okay. But if you don't start off with that, and it looks like a regular Civil War time, slavery movie for the first 45 minutes, and then it turns into present day, it just doesn't go together, and it's very boring. And I'm going to say, Jim Monáe, you may be a talented singer, you may be a songwriter and a musician as well, besides being a singer. But you should stick to it, because it seems like the choice of your movie, even the Harriet Tubman movie was, I don't know, you got to stick to much better choices if you're going to be a musician and try to become an actor. That's all I'm going to say there. So don't watch it. Only watch the John Lewis documentary of interest. Definitely watch Batman Soul of a Dragon, because it was really good with a talented voice cast. Don't watch Bull. It was boring. But definitely Words on Bathroom Walls and Spontaneous were actually really, really good movies that I actually surprised that I can watch two good movies, and it happened to be by actually the same actor. But yeah, that was pretty good. Thanks for listening to another edition of Movie Reviews and Observations number 52. I'm Radar for On the Radar 10 blog. See you guys next time.